Welcome to the online training session for Waste Plan Reporting by Waste Data Online. This session will cover who needs to prepare and submit a Waste Plan report, what needs to be reported, a step-by-step walkthrough of Waste Data Online showing you how to prepare and submit your Waste Plan report, the Waste Plan report validation and feedback process after you have submitted your Waste Plan report, and where to find useful resources relating to Waste Data Online and Waste Plan reporting. Local governments within the Perth metropolitan area, Peel region and major regional centres developed and submitted waste plans to DWER in accordance with the Waste Avoidance and Resource Recovery Act in 2021. These local governments are required to annually complete a waste plan report to update the department on the progress made implementing the existing actions in their waste plan and add any new actions being implemented or planned. By 1 October each year, the required local governments must prepare and submit their waste plan report to DWER. Local governments are required to report on the progress of the implementation of actions and milestones in their waste plan and on any new actions being implemented or planned. The waste plan report must include information indicating if the actions and milestones are not commenced, in progress, complete, or superseded. You will need to update the anticipated completion dates, anticipated commencement dates, and completion dates for each action and milestone depending on their status. There is also a comments box to allow you to provide commentary to explain progress made or outcomes achieved. If you need to supersede an action or milestone, you will need to contact the Waste Plans team via email requesting that the action or milestone be superseded and provide a reason for this request. The reason that we are requiring this is because we would like to track all the commitments made in waste plans, even those that do not progress. To ensure that your waste plan is current and reflects the services that you are delivering, you must add new actions and milestones that were not included in the original waste plan but have been implemented during the financial year. Waste plan reports are to be submitted through Waste Data Online. If this is your first time using Waste Data Online and you do not currently have access, please contact the Waste Plans team by email and you'll be issued with registration instructions. If you have previously used Waste Data Online for annual waste data reporting or waste plan reporting, you will not need to re-register to complete your waste plan report. You can log in using your email address and previously set up password. If you cannot remember your password, there is a Forgot Your Password selection on the login page, which will allow you to reset it. Please contact us if you require any assistance accessing Waste Data Online and your waste plan report. There are several resources available on our website to assist you with preparing and submitting your waste plan report. The resources include guides for Waste Data Online first-time users, user roles and reporter status, and completing and lodging your waste plan annual report to DWER. I will now walk you through preparing the waste plan form on Waste Data Online. I will show you the process of logging into Waste Data Online, starting your waste plan report, reporting on the existing actions and milestones, adding new actions and milestones, forwarding your waste plan report to your approver, and lodging your report to DWER. The report I will walk you through is much shorter than your waste plan report may be, and it is just to show you how the functionality of the form works. The link to Waste Data Online has been provided to you in previous email correspondence. Alternatively, the link is displayed, or you can Google Waste Data Online. You will need to sign in using the email address and password you used to register. If you have forgotten your password, please click Forgot Your Password and follow the instructions provided. To sign into Waste Data Online, you'll be required to enter the email address you registered with and the password and click Sign In. Once you have signed into Waste Data Online, you'll be directed to the home page. You can return to this page at any time by clicking the house in the top right corner of the window. To start your waste plan report, click on the Start a Waste Plan Report button as shown on the screen. On this page, you can select the local government you are reporting for and the relevant reporting period from the drop-down menus. Further down on this page, the nominated primary reporter and approver details are displayed for your local government. If these details are not correct and need to be updated, please inform the Waste Plans team via email. If these details are correct, please check the box to confirm this and click Next to proceed to the next page. You are only able to have one report active in each reporting year. If you've already started a waste plan report for the reporting year, you will be shown this error message. You will either need to edit the report that already exists, or you can contact the Waste Plans team if you want to delete the report and start again. If you have already started a waste plan report, you can access this report from the home page or via the My Submissions page on the top right of the page. If you don't have a waste plan report already started for the year, you will automatically be taken to page 2. Waste plan reports that have already started will be available in this section. This is the page where you will review and report on the progress of your actions and milestones from your waste plan. You can also add new actions and milestones that are not in your existing waste plan but are planned are going to be implemented by your local government. Adding new actions ensures that your waste plan is up to date and reflects the services your local government is delivering. A few things to note when completing this page are: when editing or adding new actions and milestones, all fields with a red asterisk are mandatory. You will be given an error message and not be able to submit the record if these fields are not completed. You are required to report on every action and every milestone that is not commenced or in progress before you can proceed to the next page. If you are reporting on action as complete, please ensure all the related milestones have also been reported as complete. The system will not allow you to complete an action if related milestones are still in progress. For completed actions, it would be useful to add some information on the outcome of implementing that particular action in the comments section for the action. For example, if you are reporting on the outcome of a FOGO feasibility assessment, we ask you to please outline the outcome of the assessment in the comment section. If your local government will not be proceeding with the implementation of FOGO as a result of a feasibility assessment, please explain why in the comment section of the action. If your local government will be proceeding with the implementation of FOGO as a result of a feasibility assessment, please create a new action outlining the steps and timeframes that will be put into place for the implementation of FOGO. I will show you how to add a new action further on in this demonstration. There is an action status on the right-hand side of the table. This is to help you identify which actions and milestones have been updated and those that require action prior to lodging the report. Actions and milestones that need to be updated will have the status of not updated. Once you have reported on or updated an action or milestone, the status will change to updated. Actions and milestones that were completed or superseded in the previous year's report will have the status of not applicable. You will not be able to make changes to not applicable actions or milestones, but you can open them to view the information. To report on an existing action, you will need to click the down arrow to the right of the action and then click Edit. This window is where you will select the status of the specific action. Not commenced. If the action has not yet commenced, you may be required to provide an anticipated commencement date, and you may be required to amend the anticipated completion date. If the original anticipated commencement or anticipated completion date has already passed, you'll be required to amend the dates to ensure that in the future. You may also be required to provide a reason why the action has not commenced. If the action is not yet scheduled to commence, please say so in your comments. If the action is in progress, you will need to ensure the anticipated completion date is correct and in the future. As previously mentioned, anticipated completion dates cannot be in the past. If this date has changed, you will need to amend this date. Complete. If the action is complete, please ensure that all the milestones related to a completed action are marked as complete prior to completing the action. You will not be able to report the action as complete until you report all of its milestones as complete first. You will be required to enter a date the action was completed. Please note this must be a date that is the current day or a date in the past. Superseded. If you wish to indicate that an action has been superseded or is no longer required in the waste plan, please provide an explanation for why it will be superseded in the comment box at the bottom of the window and email the waste plans team to advise the action has been superseded or is no longer required. The waste plans team will change the status of the action for you. You will not be able to supersede the action yourself. If no changes are required to the status of a not commenced or in progress action and the dates are correct, you are still required to open the record and click submit on the record without making any changes to show that you have reviewed the action. The form has several date conditions and will display error messages that prevent you from saving it if the conditions are not met. To help resolve error messages, we have developed a table within the Waste Data Online Waste Plan Annual Reporting Guide. The table is called Resolving Common Error Messages, which outlines all the errors you may receive and how to fix them. If you cannot resolve an error, please contact us via email. There is a comment box at the bottom of each window for any additional information you wish to provide to DWER. You can, for example, provide information on the learnings, findings, or achievements as a result of implementing the action. Once you have selected the application status and entered the required dates and comments for the action, please press Submit at the bottom right of the window. This will save any changes made to the action and take you back to the original page with all the actions and milestones. The update status of the action or milestone will change to updated once you click Submit. You must repeat this process for each action that is not commenced or in progress with the update status of not updated. To add a new action that is not in the current waste plan, click the Add an Action button. You are required to answer all the questions with a red asterisk. You will need to select a waste management tool from the drop-down to identify what the action relates to. You will need to add the action title and target for the action. You will then need to select the relevant status, not commenced, in progress, or complete, and enter the required dates for the status. If the action has not commenced or is not yet due to commence, please explain why in the required box. You will then need to respond to the following questions regarding the cost of implementation, the alignment of the action with the waste strategy targets, and advise if any risks have been identified and the mitigation strategy for the risks. If required, you can enter additional comments in the provided box. Once you have completed the entry for the new action, click Submit. If you have any additional information regarding the action, you can put it in the additional comments box. Milestones. To edit an existing milestone, click the down arrow next to the milestone and select Edit. Editing actions and milestones are very similar with small differences, which are you do not need to provide an anticipated commencement date or reason why a milestone has not completed. To edit an existing milestone, click the down arrow next to the milestone and select Edit. Editing actions and milestones are very similar with small differences, which are you do not need to provide an anticipated commencement date or a reason for why a milestone has not yet commenced. As with actions, you will need to select the relevant status, not commenced, in progress, and complete for each milestone. Please note that the anticipated completion date and actual completion date of a milestone must be before the corresponding completion date for the related action. The logic behind this is that the action cannot be completed before all of its milestones are completed. If you would like a milestone to be superseded, you will not be able to select this option on the form. Please leave a comment in the comment box explaining why the milestone is no longer required and advise the Waste Plans team via email so we can update the milestone status. Once you have selected the relevant status and entered or amended the required dates, click Submit at the bottom of the window to save your changes and return to the original page. If no changes are required to the status of not commenced or in progress milestones and the date is correct, you are still required to open the record and click Submit on the record without making any changes to show that you have reviewed the milestone. You will need to repeat this process for all not commenced and in progress milestones. To add a new milestone that is not in the current waste plan, click the Add a Milestone button. You must add milestones to all new actions added to your report, and you can add additional milestones to actions already in the report. Please note that the action which the milestone relates to must be created before you can create the milestone. You will need to select the related action from the drop-down menu. You will then enter the title of the milestone. You will then need to select the relevant status, not commenced, in progress, or complete, and enter the required date for the status. Once you have entered all the required details, which are indicated with a red asterisk, and additional comments if required, click Submit. Please note that we require at least 2 milestones for an action. At the very least, the milestone should indicate when the action commences and when it will be completed. We ask that you provide more milestones for the steps in between that will contribute to the completion of the action if applicable. Once you have reported on all existing actions and milestones, added any required new actions and milestones, you will notice that the action and milestone update statuses are updated or not applicable. You can then click Next at the bottom of the page. Page 3 of the form is the Review and Submit page. This shows a summary of the information you have reported for the actions in your waste plan report, so you can do a final review prior to forwarding to your organization's approver or lodging to DWER. If you are a reporter and not an approver, the button at the bottom will say Forward to Approver. If you press this button, it will take you to a landing page. If, like me, you are both the reporter and the approver for your local government, the button will say Lodge to DWER. After you have reviewed the data and made sure that you're happy with it, click on this and your report will be lodged to DWER and you will be redirected to a confirmation page. If your organization's reporter and approver are different, the approver will receive an email to advise them that the report has been forwarded to them for review. The approver will then need to log into Waste Data Online to review the report. The report will appear on the home screen under My Open Waste Plan Submissions, with the status of Forwarded to Approver. Alternatively, the approver can access the form by clicking on My Submissions in the top right corner and then My Waste Plan Reports. The approver will need to click the down arrow next to the report and select Edit, which will take them to the Waste Plan report. The first page provides a summary of the reporter and approver details that has previously been confirmed by the reporter. On the second page, the approver can then review each action and milestone and make changes if required, or they can click the next button at the bottom of the page and proceed to the review and submit page. Once the approver has reviewed the actions and milestones within the report, they can click the Lodge to DWER button at the bottom of the review and submit page. Once clicked, you will be taken to a confirmation page, and the waste plan report has now been submitted to DWER. This concludes the walkthrough of the process for lodging your report. Reporters and approvers can review the report at any time by clicking on My Submissions in the top right corner and selecting My Waste Plan Reports, but will not be able to make any changes after the form is lodged to DWER. Once the waste plan report has been submitted to DWER, the Waste Plans team will review and validate your submission in line with local government waste plans guidance document. Things we will be looking for during our review include: is the information reported complete and correct? Are the required explanatory notes provided? Are actions proceeding according to the timelines in the waste plan? Are explanations provided for any changes to actions or delays in implementation? Are services being delivered consistent with the waste strategy, such as: is your local government on track to meet the target of implementing FOGO, and if not, have you indicated why? Is your local government planning to divert only residual waste to waste to energy as per the energy recovery target? If your local government is not considering energy recovery but may consider this in the future, please indicate this in the waste plan report. Is your local government working towards delivering services that are consistent with better practice guidelines by 2030? These include guidelines that are released by or deemed appropriate by the Waste Authority, for example, better practice vergeside and drop-off guidelines. Does the report introduce any inconsistency with the waste strategy? For example, is your local government still on track to meet the waste strategy targets it committed to in its waste plan? Or does the endorsement status of the waste plan need to be revised due to new actions or amendments to existing actions? Once the waste plan team has reviewed your waste plan report, you will receive feedback from DWER via email. The feedback will be in one of two categories. The first, waste plan report accepted, which means the report has been accepted by DWER and no further action is required. Or the second, waste plan report feedback required, which means the waste plans team is requesting clarification and, if required, changes to the report, which will require further action from you. If we are requesting feedback from you, you can then choose to respond in one of two ways. You can log into Waste Data Online and amend the report yourself. If you choose this option, you will be required to re-forward the report to your approver, who will then be required to relodge the report to the department. Or you can respond directly to the feedback email, addressing the requested feedback, and the Waste Plans team will amend the report in Waste Data Online on your behalf. No further approvers will be required if you choose this option. The process of providing and responding to feedback will continue until the report is complete and correct. Once your report is finalised by DWER, you will be notified via email and a PDF summary of the report will be provided for your reference and records. The information reported will be stored in a secure and centralised location and will help support the implementation of the waste strategy. The information will be used to support the development of policy and programs and monitor consistency and progress against the waste strategy targets. DWER does not intend to release individual waste plans publicly, but may report on the information in waste plans and waste plan reports in an aggregated manner, for example, in the Annual Waste and Recycling in Western Australia report. To summarise everything that was covered today, local governments in the Perth metropolitan area, Peel region and major regional centres are required to report annually on the progress and implementation of the actions and milestones of their waste plan. The waste plan report must be prepared and submitted to DWER via Waste Data Online. The waste plan report is due by 1 October each year. and we are here to help, so please do not hesitate to contact us if you require any further assistance. As previously mentioned, we have a lot of useful resources and step-by-step guidance regarding your reporting requirements and using waste data online to submit your report. The resources are available at the links shown on the screen. Thank you for watching this video on waste plan reporting via waste data online. We hope that it has been helpful, but as previously mentioned, we are here to help, so please contact us if you need any assistance.